Jake Paul continues gunning at Dana White, as I covered in previous videos, and now he just came out with a diss track / video directed at him. But he also fired shots at Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor, and Nate Diaz. Ex-UFC fighters Chris Cyborg and Antonio McKee even made an appearance. In the video, she signs a contract where Dana White insists on paying her only $12K per fight and telling her not to worry about health insurance. Dana and Cyborg's real-life public disputes were also well documented before and after she was in the UFC. In her last press conference at UFC 240, Cyborg claimed she had been bullied by Dana and had many issues with the company. She said, "A lot of things going on, having a lot of issues, me and the UFC. I'm not complaining about anything, but it's not just the fight, because the people, the media don't see the things inside, but a lot of things have to work out for me to continue to stay. Everybody knows that I don't have the best relationship with the UFC. I don't have the best relationship with Dana White. He bullies me around, bullies me on the internet. I suffer bullying everywhere because of this. He never said he's sorry to me about this." Cyborg never renewed her contract and left to Bellator in 2019. Antonio McKee, who also fought once for the UFC, was released in 2011, and he had also spoken negatively in the past about the promotion. His son AJ McKee, who is currently 18-0 and current featherweight champion of Bellator, has expressed interest in testing himself in the UFC. His most notable win was finishing Patricio Pitbull via guillotine choke in July 2021. However, his father Antonio seems to only want to unify the belts, as he too had a negative experience with the promotion. He said, "We all know the UFC doesn't have the best fighters in the world. They don't. I'm sorry to say. This is why we're trying to push for some type of union to unify these belts. It's just not fair that we call this a sport, but yet we have an organization that will pay my son $1 million, and you have another organization that only wants to pay him $100,000. But this is how he makes a living? This isn't right. So let's unify the belts. Let's let these promotions take over the promoting part, and let's let these fighters take on the fighting part, and let them do what they're capable of doing, and let's unify the belts. I've already talked to Scott Coker. Scott Coker is down with it, but why won't the UFC do it? Why? Because it would water down the brand of the UFC when you've got fighters coming from Bellator beating the crap out of the guys from the UFC. Jake also threw in actors to play ex-UFC owners Frank and Lorenzo Fertitta, who were prominent public figures in the UFC during its growth in popularity until they sold the remaining shares in 2016. Jake went on to trash Jorge Masvidal, saying that he isn't rich after fighting 50 times and only winning $5 million. He said Nate Diaz's Stockton slap is cool, but his lisp makes him sound like he's speaking a different language. Then Jake moved on to Conor McGregor and said he hasn't seen him win a fight in 5 years, then called him a rich drunk weirdo with some ugly veneers, and he wasn't surprised he tried to fight with rapper Machine Gun Kelly. As far as Dana, Jake said to lay off the cocaine and hookers and to pay his fighters what they deserved. Sean O'Malley has heard about the Francis Ngannou's contract disputes and decided to throw his opinion on the matter, as he's been taking a more cerebral approach to the way he manages his career. Sean said, "I think, dude, if you're gonna go out there and just talk shit about the boss and the company, you can't just expect no backlash, right? It makes sense that Dana is running a business and his heavyweight champion, the one who is the main fucking champ, the baddest dude on planet Earth, is just in every interview he gets talking shit. I don't want to say talking shit in a bad way. I guess he is just talking facts, but it is talking shit, and you can't do that to the UFC. You can't do that to Dana. You can't do that to your boss. You can, but now Ngannou is not in a great position. Imagine he's the heavyweight champion of the world. Him and Dana have a great relationship. I bet there's leeway there to make some negotiations, but now it's not happening." Khabib Nurmagomedov held his Eagle FC 46 Kevin Lee vs. Diego Sanchez press conference and was asked how active he would be in pursuing free agents that were going to be finishing up their contracts with the UFC, Bellator, and other promotions. Khabib said he was definitely open to it and sent a warning to these companies taking advantage of their fighters. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I think like for big organizations like UFC, Bellator, they have to be careful with their fighters because Eagle FC is here. And of course, we're trying to sign good athletes, great athletes with good names. At the same time, we're working with young generation too. We have two goals, and I just want to say be careful. If they don't treat good fighters, Eagle FC is here.
Former light heavyweight champ Jan Blachowicz just announced that he will be pulling out of his fight versus Aleksander Rakic. Jan said, "Unfortunately, I will not fight March 26 at UFC Columbus. I have an injury in my spine around the neck area. That makes it impossible to train with heavy weights. I need to fix that now. I hope we will meet with Aleksander in the octagon in the first half of this year." Aleksander responded, "Get well soon and fast recovery, Jan. See you later this year. All the best." As always, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button for me. If you're new, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date. Thanks for watching.